Lovely.
Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Paropod. Fun fact about number 45 is the sum of all 10 decimal numbers from 0 to 9. If you add them all up, 45.
That's crazy. Is it?
It is. Look that up.
Is it actually?
We'll do it now. No, wait, we can't do it. We can't do it out loud, but do it in your head.
Oh, I'm going to do it on my calculator. I would assume it's a way smaller number than that.
No, it's 45.
Oh, the numbers are stacking up. I can already see it now.
Yeah, It's exponential. See, that's the thing.
There we go. Yeah, you're right.
Exponential quality, which is basically what this podcast has been. Exponentially getting better with every episode.
Or worse, depending on...
Well, it's all relative, you know, as we established many times before.
It's subjective.
It's all subjective. There's no objective things to hold us to. But yeah, it's episode 45. We're here again. How are you getting on, Owen?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm vibing.
We're nearly a full fucking year at this.
Yeah, in a while.
Crazy.
We'll be there, you know.
Episode 50. Big things coming to episode 50.
Big things. Watch out. 24-hour stream, live stream, challenges,
the whole shebang.
pranks.
Filmed
pranks.
We're getting into prank YouTube.
10 years late.
I'm telling you, the second wave, it's going to blow up.
Yeah, gone sexual, you know. It's going to go crazy.
Parapod gone sexual.
Yeah.
Two bros in a room.
Has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
We'll just start doing like... Did we mention last week, like... Oh, it was John Waters. When we're talking about John Waters, like... actual long porn videos. We'll tap into that untapped market.
Yeah, long porn videos. Yeah, there's not enough of them.
Long porn videos.
Yeah. We'll do something like that, you know, like the places that haven't been tapped. You know, like we're kind of migrating eastward in the past
getting
few
away
weeks.
from fucking American.
You know, we might go south after that. We might go in a whole different, like, fourth dimensional kind of direction.
Yeah.
You know, dark web shit. You
No.
know. Well, maybe there's good movies on the dark web. You know?
I don't know. I feel like if there's good movies on the dark web, you'd hear about them.
But like, consider like 120 Days of Sodom. That basically existed on the dark web for 200 years. Think about it.
What?
Think about it. The dark web is in like this kind of underground, like your mates show it to you at this like fucked up like party.
Oh, you mean like, you know?
Either way, it wasn't published.
You mean the original 100 Days of...
Yeah.
Sorry. I thought you
Not
meant the
Salah.
film. I was like, what? That film is 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
like the untapped, like
The Marquis de Sade of the Zoomer Marquis de Sade, you know?
Yeah, God.
What would they be into?
Some fucking... some
But
awful
there's
shit.
definitely stuff out there, but yeah. It'll happen. But yeah, it's been a good week.
Has been...
It's getting hot.
It's getting hot. It was
I don't like that.
Pissing rain the other week, though. Last week.
Yeah, but it was like a horrible rain. It was like... It was too, like... It wasn't cold. I like rain when it's cold, you know. I don't like warm rain, you know.
I walked in the rain. Like, properly walked in the rain the other week.
No hood.
No hood. I had a
Bareback.
hood, but I was also, like, coming home from the gym, so it was, like, sweaty. I was like, you know what? We're just going to walk.
Yeah, those are liberating walks, though.
Yeah, man.
You
I
just
felt amazing.
You let the rain pour on your skin,
Mhm.
you know.
I
Like
felt
that song.
class.
Yeah.
It was yeah, because there's something, I don't know. There is something about just walking in the rain. It's very, I don't know. It's like it is like cathartic or something.
Yeah, you feel like you're in a movie.
Man, I was like, and especially like when it's raining so much that like it's like over your lips and you're kind of like you gotta go like because there's so much fucking water around your mouth.
Yeah. There's
Right.
something elemental about it.
Yeah, it's something natural.
You know, it's where we're supposed to be, bro. You know, people
Meant to
give
be-
out to me.
meant to be-
Walking down the street naked in the rain. It's perfectly natural, bro.
It's the way it's meant to be, bro.
This is how our ancestors got to the shops.
It's like fucking hunting dogs or something.
Yeah, out spearing dogs in the park, chihuahuas. Like, it's the way it's supposed to be, bro. Don't be so upset.
Picking berries and shit. Into the back
Just die within a few days.
Yeah. How long do you think you would last if you were just like thrown out into a wilderness now?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'd last a few days, but
How long can humans last without food?
3 weeks.
I'd last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If I didn't get eaten before that.
I feel like I'd poison myself or like get an infected wound or something.
Yeah, man. I wonder.
Like I get attacked by a dog or something. Like
That's definitely the thing that would kill you quicker.
yeah,
Then, like,
infections. Yeah.
Infection, like or just like, yeah, like you get cut in your leg or something and you get infection.
Yeah. Because it's like we don't think about it these days, but back in the day, like you think about mortality rates. Like, why do people die so much and like so much younger back in the day? It's because it's so easy to get like a scrape. After that scrape, to get way much worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't happen these days. But it is easy if you don't have like plasters on hand.
Yeah.
You don't have plasters on hand when you're thrown out into the wilderness in a kind of Hunger Games situation in the modern day, which is what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I died pretty quickly.
Yeah, same. I think it. Yeah, I think how fast is an infection like
Yeah.
spread?
Sepsis, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
That's
It's over.
That's how quick it would be.
Yeah.
Especially because like
Clean water as well. You might get dysentery. Then you die of dehydration.
yeah, because like unless let's just imagine like you're in like a decent somewhere that's not like fucking has
We're
like
just in the middle of
pollution.
Beaumont.
Yeah, just in the middle of Beaumont. Just have to-
Yeah, and you just die within 2 days. We don't know how this happened. he was right beside all these estates.
This is a hospital right there. No, because like if you were somewhere that had like fresh water and stuff like that, even still, I'd probably pick the wrong berry or something like that. Although at that stage, I wouldn't even try and pick berries. I would literally just try and hunt
What would you hunt though? I
rabbits
wouldn't know
and
what
shit.
rabbits.
Yeah, just traps or something.
Could you hunt a rabbit? What would you say?
No,
I definitely wouldn't be able to hunt anything.
no, I don't think I could.
I think I could chase a dog.
If I could get my hands on it, I'd be sorted. But like that's the thing.
That's the thing with
that's
rabbits.
The thing, yeah.
It's hard to catch, and squirrels and stuff.
Or like
Maybe like pigeons.
Yeah, could I throw a rock at a pigeon? I kill a seagull.
Yeah, because you can grab.
Although there
seagulls.
won't be seagulls in the fucking forest, so that's bollocks. I get eaten by a
Yeah.
fucking eagle or something.
Get eaten by the eagle.
Yeah. Have you seen those eagles that like pick up goats and just drop them?
Yeah. Ever see the way these days they pick up chihuahuas in like the States? Like in America they have like protective coats for the chihuahuas because eagles think they're like rabbits and just swoop down and just take them because they're so light.
Yeah, they're
And just fly away. Yeah. I could definitely hunt a chihuahua.
Oh yeah, no bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was in the, I don't know, what's there? See, the thing is about in the wild is that like no animal's gonna come up to me, so like I can't like gain the trust of something.
Well, we retrace our genetic steps back to the African plains. What were we best at? Stalking.
Yeah,
Walking long distances. So just do that. Just walk.
just walk.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
We just
You
have to
find civilization eventually.
Yeah, you have to be a good tracker, I suppose. I don't know what you track in this environment, but
Yeah. Do you ever see
people.
that- yeah, what was that? Do you ever watch that show? I can't remember the name of it, but it's like it's literally that situation where they put you out into like a forest or whatever, and like you're here, you have to get to you're at point A, get to point B, and then 2 hours after you leave, the trackers will come out and get you.
The
And,
Hunger
like,
Games.
It's not like the Hunger Games. It used to be on Discovery or something. I can't remember the name of it. It was class though, and like the way that because it was kind of unfair because the trackers are on fucking horses, so like they're moving quicker.
Yeah.
But just the way they're like, oh, they went this way because that twig is snapped in a certain way and that bush has been slightly pushed back. And it's like, how the fuck can you see that?
Yeah, how do you know? Like,
It's like your man in Hunger Games, fucking True Detective season 3.
yeah. That's what he wasn't
Yeah.
he, tracker in the army? Yeah, those are skills that were lost in time, like
Lot of
tears and rain.
A lot of skills we've lost.
Yeah, we're such duds these days.
Because like, I mean, you would just be fucked.
Yeah, no, like that whole thing about prepping. Remember that? That all died down. But like realistically, if there was like a power outage for a sustained period of time, like a week, like society would collapse. People would be eating each other in the streets, feasting on like the goo inside. It would be like a carnival. It would be like the Purge.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Yeah, I always think that like especially like Western societies just fucking lose it. Especially in America, you can just imagine them with their guns, being like, "Get the fuck off my property" and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all like mad fat.
Yeah,
They can't move around.
they're ready to take you out at a moment's notice. Some of them are itching for that to happen, just to fucking shoot someone.
Yeah. I say there's people here as well.
There's 100%. There's 100% people in like every society that like once the social like contract is non-existent, just they let loose.
Yeah, they go to town on everyone else.
Yeah, crazy fuckers.
Yeah, fuck that.
Mental fuckers.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of saw that kind of like during lockdown, not to that extent, but just like the lack of empathy some people have.
Yeah, some people just go their own way and like, as long as I got mine, I'm grand. But like that's not how we got here.
Yeah.
Cooperation,
cooperation,
teamwork,
bro.
friendship. You know,
Love,
if we all love each other,
bro. If we just love each other, I think we'll get this through this.
we need to end war. Make love, not peace, or
End
whatever.
world hunger, all that,
You know,
all that free love, hippie stuff.
all that bullshit.
I'd say we're probably two hippies at this stage. I think it's safe to say we're kind of hippies.
We're definitely hippies.
Yeah, definitely. According to someone, we're definitely hippies.
Yeah. You know, we got that vibe down. Anyway, the hippies sort of died out though. I don't know what we'd be called. They'll have a name for us sometime in the future.
Cultural Marxists.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when the fascist revolution comes out, like this will all be used as evidence in our show trials.
Oh, we're fucking gone, man.
We're fucked.
Yeah,
It's
we're
over.
fucked.
We're going down standing though.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll go down
I'll
proud.
stand by everything I said on this.
Mhm.
Well,
Some things.
some of those opinions were completely wrong. Mr. Fascist. I don't agree with that opinion on that
Salo
movie.
is actually a terrible fucking film.
Yeah, I was just pretending to like that one, to be honest.
I just wanted the film hype, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a good film. It's in the Criterion Collection. That has to be good. Aye, they.
Yeah, but what have you been watching this week?
What have I been watching? I watched Saw.
Saw SAW.
Yeah, the first one. It's a kind of an old movie now. Doesn't it?
2000, 2001, 2002.
I think it's 2003, maybe, or it's early 2000s anyway.
Ah, yeah.
You know, one of the films that popularized torture porn genre, which is more of an American thing. Like French Extremity is something different to torture porn, I feel. But the first one is just not that at all.
It's not torture porn, no?
Oh Jesus, not at all. It is so stripped back. Like there's barely any bloodshed really in the film.
It's more of a horror film.
Yeah, it's more like a cycle. It's more about it's more psychological, I guess.
What's the worst gore that happens in the film? What would make me flinch? What would make me go, I don't know.
Like a dude saws off his foot, but you don't see anything.
That happens in Scary Movie 4, Dr. Phil, remember that?
No. It's definitely based. They're definitely the piss.
He saws off his foot and then he's like, oh, it's the wrong foot. It's a chainsaw. It's like, oh, shit.
That's pretty good.
Or it's like Shaquille O'Neal or something. But,
That's pretty good.
yeah.
No, yeah, that's probably the worst thing in it. But it's you don't see it at all. Like you see the start of him sawing into his foot, and then it just cuts to his face and going as he's sawing back and forth, and the other fella's just like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But that's it in terms of violence. It's really not the film that Saw became. I think it's more because the idea is kind of genius. It's a good idea for a franchise.
Yeah, the contained environment. You know, there's a time limit and stuff.
And some of them are fucked up. I remember seeing I've seen Saw 4 and 5, maybe the 7 of them. So I think I've seen 4 and 5. Can't tell you a single fucking thing that happened in Saw 4. Saw 5 I remember, just because it was the traps that were in it. I was like, that is just completely unfair. I was like, how are you meant to know? Because the whole thing in Saw 5 is the twist is, if you all work together, you would have solved it. I was like, under because one of the first one is they all have in Saw 5 they'll have things around their neck, and they have to use a key to take the thing off their neck, or else they get pulled back and their head gets decapitated. But he's just if you actually cooperated, you would have realized that the key is the same so only one person had to grab it. But if you're also just if you're fucking stressing out, you're not gonna and you're under a time limit, you're not gonna think, oh, all the fucking keys are the same. You're just not gonna think that.
You're not gonna analyze the key.
And there's a few, and then the second one, the second trap in it, I was like, these people are fucking dumb, because it's so obvious that the space is big enough for two people. It's just, there's loads of shit like that where it's it's not that good. But this first Saw, people talk about it it's oh, it's actually really good. It's actually really average. It's okay. It's James Wan.
Oh really? He did this.
He did the first Saw.
He's a king.
He did Saw and he did Conjuring, 2 films that started massive franchises.
Yeah, Conjuring was really good.
Conjuring
I love
is
Conjuring.
really good.
Yeah.
I watched Annabelle as well last week.
Oh really? Yeah.
That film's shit.
Yeah, they're all bad
Yeah.
except for
Conjuring 2 is good.
it was the one with the nun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was alright. It didn't capture the essence of the original.
The first one is like just so balls to the wall. It's like because like
It's so honest about what it's trying to do.
yeah,
You know,
there's
like
no pretensions about it.
It's just a horror film and
Yeah.
it's scary and it does what it says in
Yeah.
the tin, and it's even like has like the cool kind of like homage to like old horror films, like
Yeah.
even the typeface of the title,
Yeah,
stuff like that. I thought it was so cool.
I haven't seen The Conjuring since I watched it in the cinema.
It was so scary in the cinema.
Oh,
When she
man.
jumps down off the wardrobe, I was shit. my
Yeah,
pants.
man, there's so many good jump scares like that in the
Yeah,
film,
yeah.
and they're like good jump scares. Like
Yeah.
Annabelle has like so many there's a jump scare where like it's like a tense moment or whatever, but then the husband walks out of like a dark room and it just goes brrr, and I was like, well, that's not scary. Like that's just the dad or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's not the fucking killer or whatever. Like it's just shy. It's not a good film. Conjuring 1's good.
Annabelle 2 is also terrible.
I've heard Annabelle 2 is actually good, and the same thing about like Ouija, like the first Ouija's kind of shit, but the second Ouija is actually a good film. That's complete bullshit. I watched Ouija 2 and it's shite. It's not good.
Ouija, I never saw Ouija. Like,
They're shite. They're just bad movies. That's why they
Yeah.
didn't make a fucking third one.
yeah, Ouija 3.
Um,
There's a new Conjuring though.
There
Conjuring
is.
3. I want to see that.
I do want to see that.
I'd like to see
I
that.
probably would. I'd probably go to the cinema to see it.
Yeah, why not? I haven't been in a while. You know,
Yeah.
there's nothing else to watch.
Yeah, there literally isn't.
You know.
There's nothing. I'm going on Thursday. I'm going to go see Into the Heights, the
What's-
Lin-Manuel musical that's on.
Ah,
Just to see,
see what it's about.
I don't even don't really. I know it's gonna be the biggest 3-star film I've ever fucking seen probably.
Yeah, I might go see Another Round, the one with Mads Mikkelsen.
I want to see that as well.
I might see that in the Lighthouse. See what it's about.
Yeah, that's a good
So,
show.
yeah.
That's a good show. Lighthouse is back as well.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Back at it.
But Saw.
Saw, bet Saw. Remember Saw?
James Wan's the king.
He is the king.
Is the main point. But it's not as violent as the rest of them. Nowhere near as violent as the rest of them. And it's kind of interesting that it started this franchise. Because it was super cheap, and I found out that the writer was best friends with James Wan. The two of them wrote it together. I think they were housemates or something, and they wrote this movie, and then James Wan directed it, and it cost $100 million, and it made fucking bank
For
back.
100 grand.
No, 100. Oh, sorry, 1 million. Sorry, 1 million.
1 million.
It cost 1 million, and it just made it probably made 100 million or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
it did,
crazy
yeah.
like that. And it started a whole franchise. But watching it now, the editing, fuck me, it's like a shitty MTV video. Oh my god, there's a bit as well where they're driving. It's at the climax of the film, and these two characters are driving really quickly to get to a location, and they're literally they're in a car that's clearly not moving. They're just driving like that with their hands shaking.
with the wheel going
and
back and forth.
it keeps zooming, going vroom vroom vroom, and it's just
yeah.
chill out.
Yeah, relax. You're about to crash.
Yeah, relax. It's this is so intense.
Yeah.
But even in the other Saws, the people deserve it. You have the healthcare insurance people in Saw 6, I think is the healthcare one, where it's just oh, you pick and choose who lives and dies. So now you're literally gonna have to pick and choose as the healthcare insurance person amongst your coworkers and stuff like that. It's
That's good.
taking on the system.
Commentary.
Yeah. This one is just you're a doctor that cheats on his wife. And that's it.
You deserve to die.
So it's just yeah, you don't really deserve it. And there's a drug addict as well. And you're just I don't think she deserves. I don't think she deserves any of this.
It's just bad out, Jigsaw.
There's this one guy, and he's just it kind of reminds me of Seven. Actually, it reminded me a lot about Seven, where it's this deranged serial killer who just has a method or whatever. But at the start, the police are they're talking about Jigsaw, and they're just well, technically he doesn't actually kill anyone. But I'm just no, he just straight up does kill someone. It's oh, he finds a way to make them kill themselves. But it's also some of the stuff where you're just there's no way that you're gonna be able to survive that. There's one where a dude is in a room, and the ground he's naked, covered in flammable liquid or whatever, and he has to hold a candle, and he has to run around on broken glass with the candle to read combinations or whatever. And it's well, he's not gonna end up killing himself. He's just gonna die because of the situation that he's in, and there's no way out of it. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's fine.
Yeah, you can't get out of a murder trial by saying Actually, he was stabbing himself.
Yeah.
You know, I was just grabbing his hand. Stop stabbing yourself. I kept saying it to him.
It's like he's like, if he listened to me, I wouldn't have shot him.
yeah, exactly.
He killed himself.
Yeah. Yeah, Jigsaw, you old dog.
You old dog. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch any more of them because like I don't really want to.
Yeah, I'm sort of intrigued. I might watch it. Might watch it one day.
Yeah, watch the first one anyway.
You know, I sort of because that sounds like what I'm kind of into. You know, James Wan as well. He knows his stuff. He did Insidious as well, didn't he? Maybe he did.
I think he did.
I think he did with your man, the guy who's also in The Conjuring.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, Insidious was good. First Insidious was very good.
The second Insidious is a fun movie. It's not really. I wouldn't really call it a horror film, but it's.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's like it's just a cool kind of story, or like a cool like.
About dreams and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's It's about like this meta, like third reality or whatever.
Mm.
But it's cool. I like Insidious. Insidious 3 is the one where I think it's a character and she's like trapped in bed. It's a shy film. It's a shy film.
I remember the last time I watched the show. I can't remember which
There's
one it
another
was.
one as well. There's 4 Insidious movies.
Is there? Just stop. You know, just stop.
Yeah.
Let him do something else in the
But
original
like-
script.
I think there's 7 or 8 Conjuring movies. There's 3 Annabelle movies. There's 7. No, there's 8. There's 3 Annabelle movies. Did you know that a third Annabelle film came out?
Nah.
I didn't know that.
Annabelle Creations
That's the second one. This Annabelle Comes Home is the third one.
comes home.
Never heard of that film.
Is the Nun.
And then there's 3 Conjuring movies, and there's a Nun, and then there's The Curse of La Lerna or something.
La Llorona.
Yeah,
Is that Conjuring?
that's a Conjuring movie. Yeah,
Is it? Well, it's good that they're doing stories beyond just like, oh, they're doing another case.
yeah,
You
the,
know?
yeah. The 2, whatever the fuck their names are.
Yeah, the Yolks, whatever
Yeah.
the names are.
I
Yeah,
have no idea what their names are.
yeah, they're real people though.
Yeah, they are. They only
Absolute
died recently as well.
Complete frauds as well.
Oh yeah, 100% complete fucking frauds.
It's total frauds in real life. It's completely debunked, but it's a good story though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
It's fun, spooky stories.
yeah. You know what else is fun?
What?
From Up on Poppy Hill by Goro Miyazaki.
Oh, that's Hayao Miyazaki's son.
It is indeed the son of the legendary Hayao Miyazaki, who did loads of anime films. This is my first real foray into anime for a while. For a while, maybe since Perfect Blue. I can't remember. I tried to watch Neon
Genesis.
thing a while ago, but I didn't get into it. But this is my first foray back into it. Very relaxing film. Very relaxing film. It's like a slice of life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about these two, a schoolboy and a schoolgirl, Shun and Umi, and the whole thing is like, will they, won't they?
Yeah.
You know, the entire time, and the plot kind of revolves around this thing in their boarding school where there's this old clubhouse where the community revolves around this place, like the student community, student life revolves around this. They have all their like little clubs in there, like the philosophy club, and there's like a newspaper, and there's like a chemistry club and stuff like that. But it's like this all kind of like shack. It's all like run down. There's like cobwebs everywhere.
There's always a shack.
There's always a shack somewhere on the school
Japanese
grounds.
schools just seem really fucking cool because they have all the. Well, according to anime, they have all these fucking clubs and shit.
According to anime, yeah. We never got that in secondary school. A lot of bollocks, you know.
No.
Oh, how's the homework club? You know, was that even a thing? I thought that was primary school, but like,
Just have sports teams, really.
yeah, a lot of bollocks.
Debating team.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently Japan. I think it's like our version of or their version of like the Harry Potter. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, it's so cute and cool, but in real life it's probably just like depressing and like it's
Yeah.
like, you know, everyone gets bullied and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in this film, it's so cute and it's so relaxing, and they have this whole thing. They have the big shack out back. You know, it has lots of character to it, but it's fucked. You know, it's falling down.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, this is set in the 60s, around 1964, at the just before the Tokyo Summer Olympics. And so, like, the head of the school board in the area has decided that they're going to demolish the clubhouse and rebuild it. Rebuild it in something new. But that's the whole thing. That's the little conflict in the story, you know?
It's very little conflict as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's so quaint. It's like, oh, they're gonna knock down the clubhouse. Oh, like
The memories.
But I'm thinking, oh my god, they're gonna knock down the clubhouse. What's that about? It's a joke.
Yeah, fuck this.
You know, the stakes are so high, but they're so low at the same time. Because there's so much, like, the characters are so like fleshed out, and there's so much like meaning, and you can feel you can kind of vibe the memories
Mhm.
in that shack. You know,
That's cool.
it's a cool kind of way that they did it. But that's the conflict is between the people who don't want it demolished and the people who do, and even the student body is kind of conflicted over it. And Sean, our main like male lead or the schoolboy lead, he's like he's the kind of leader or like the co-leader of the anti-demolition faction, and he's crusading against these people who want to demolish the past, the old Japan. He has a line about people who worship the future have no future and stuff like that. So it's kind of like analogous to Japan after the Second World War, like trying to
traditionalism versus modernity.
Decide sort of conflicted in itself over whether to move forward and completely abandon the past, or to like create some kind of synthesis, or to kind of like, you know, make use of what came before.
Yeah.
To the extent that could happen. But that's the whole thing. Even there's like a little like mini democracy, like a mini kind of like electorate within the school. Obviously the students disagree over whether to demolish it or whether not to demolish it. And there's like these big debates that they hold in like in their hall, and there's like a real like vibrant atmosphere to it. They're like, there's so much everyone's like an active citizen within the community of the school.
Yeah.
And there's so many different characters, and you feel like it's a real kind of
I love when they do that in like micro cultures and micro universes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's like it's like a mini democracy, and they have like philosophical debates, and it's like they name drop like Nietzsche and like existentialism and stuff like that. It's like these people are these like 15 years old.
It's little 16-year-olds like quoting Nietzsche.
Yeah. And but basically Shun and Umi are like, Umi-san and all this stuff, and it's like and their cheeks go red and stuff like that, all that stuff. Hilarious, but so cute. Oh my god. And but there's a big twist. There's a huge twist, because Umi has this whole thing where she's like she has this habit every day where she gets up and she knows like fucking what's it called, semaphore or something like that. Not semaphore, like
What's the fuck is semaphore?
It's like, you know, when on ships where like they communicate using flags and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like flag language or something.
Yeah.
But it's like it's all up
flag language.
It's up on a pole, you know, because it's for the ships sailing past, and it always says like something like have a good trip or something like that. I don't know.
Safe sailing.
Yeah, safe sailing, something like that. And that's her like little cute thing that she does. And it's because her father's away at sea. Or no, her father's dead. He died in the Korean War. And he was a sailor, and he died in the Korean War. His ship sank, and her mother is all off at she's off in the US. She's like a doctor or something, but she's always on about her father, and she's showing Shun like the family albums and stuff, and she's like, oh, he was such a great man. He was like, oh, he's so handsome. He was like, he was a great man, and I really miss him. And but Shun takes the picture of the father, and he looks at it, he's like, I know this guy. Big twist.
Oh shit.
He goes back to his dad, or like his father figure on the steamboat where he lives, I think. And he's like, this guy's my father, isn't he? And his father figure's like, yeah, that's your dad. And it's like the whole thing is Shun and Umi are related, they're brother and sister. I was like, oh my god, this is so Japanese, you know?
Yeah, it's like, and they still bone.
Oh yeah, it's really graphic as well.
It just turns into a hentai in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, the Miyazaki brand just went down in flames, you know. But no, it turns out that they're actually not related. And some other twist. Something like Shun's father was there's 3 people in the picture. One of them was her father, and the other one was like the captain of the ship, and the third one was this other guy who died beforehand. Something like that, and he had a son. He passed it on to her father, and then he like sort of raised it or whatever, or something like that. I can't remember. But basically, they're not related. Yeah, and
so cool. It's not incest, bro. It's cool.
So it's not incest again, but like they're just like playing with the fact that like, oh, they could be related. Is that hot or not? You know,
hot or not?
There was
yes or no?
There was no reason for that to be there. You know, it's kind of like a trial that they go through, where they're like they have feelings for each other, but then they're like, oh, we're related, and they're like they confess their love for each other before finding out that they aren't related, which is weird, pretty weird. But then, but then,
why did they do that?
But they're not like, oh, I love you.
Did you watch this dubbed or subbed, by the way?
Ah, sub. I can't do
Oh
dubs.
yeah, so it's just fucking. Oh god, because I was sometimes when I watch dub things, I'm just like, did they change this? Did they just make this fucking weird?
Yeah, no, this is complete. This is weird all on its own. Like it was
Christ.
made like this, but like they're just like, oh, like they have feelings for each other, and like, but we're brother and sister. But then they're not brother and sister. And like, but it doesn't really. It just leaves it that strand there.
Mm.
Like it leaves it sort of like trail off, and they decide that the fucking commission decide that the thing is going to get demolished anyway, even though the school council or whatever like spent all the students are bonding over the cleaning and like the repair of the clubhouse,
Scum.
you know, and so but they still decide to demolish it. So Umi, Shun, and this other guy Shiro head off to Tokyo to like try to convince them to like not do it,
Mm.
and they succeed.
Nice.
I think. I can't remember.
It's not important.
It's not even important. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not important
Yeah.
because it's like pretty much nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like it's all about they're gonna demolish this clubhouse, but then they're not.
Yeah.
Then they are again, and then they're not. But the entire time it's about the students
Yeah.
bonding and like the life within the clubhouse, like what the clubhouse represents. Old Japan, New Japan, young Japan, like the students who actually inhabit it, like the
Mhm.
lives they have in there, and like the sound design is amazing.
Yeah.
The food looks so sexy.
Nothing better
It's so
than
good.
anime food. Oh my
you know?
fucking
There's
god.
so much time just spent like lingering at home,
Yeah.
like in their houses, and but it's like compelling to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck. Like, how did they do that? 'Cause
Yeah. There's just nothing really cozy about it.
yeah. I know there's like a whole genre of anime that's just slice of life.
Yeah.
like,
It's huge, man, as well.
like nothing happens,
Yeah.
but people like love watching it. Like, I can understand why you would watch
Yeah.
because it's so relaxing to watch.
Yeah. You just chill out.
You just chill out watching that.
You
and
just vibe with
you're
it.
just like, I wish I was there.
Especially because, like, I imagine as well, like, Japan's a very stressful, like, work environment and stuff like that. So it is just nice to, chill out and just watch a slice of life anime and just, vibe
Just vibe,
for,
yeah.
like, 20 minutes or whatever.
It's very beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Everything's very well drawn, well animated. I know
Mhm.
Miyazaki's very, very well known for that kind of thing, but I don't know any of his films. I haven't watched his films.
They're all, like, you should watch,
It's all Hell's. Is Hell's him?
Howl Moving Castle's him. Castle in the Sky is him as well. Castle in the Sky is really good. Watched that a while ago with my family. That's good. I watched what's his name? Gozu.
Ozu, yeah.
Ozu. I watched his first film, which is on Netflix. The Tales of Earthsea, I think it's called.
Tales of Earthsea. I've heard of that.
Shite.
Is it?
Oh man, it's so bad.
Ozu.
Yeah, it's,
He's raved about everywhere.
I think though, see, it's his first film. I think the problem is that the scale of it or something is just way too big for it to be your first project. It's like all of it's just underdeveloped and like nothing has any impact, and it's just shit.
Is it a big budget yoke?
Yeah, it's like it's a Studio Ghibli, so yeah.
Oh.
But it's like again, it's like the animation's great, but like the story and the characters are just completely lacking.
Yeah. Apparently the animation in from up on Poppy Hill got a lot of criticism
Really?
because it was like too simple, and it is simple compared to like some of the stuff that I've seen anyway of like classic anime, probably like Studio Ghibli and all that stuff. But it still works. It's still like I think the main thing is the backgrounds.
Yeah,
The
man,
backgrounds
the
are-
backgrounds are amazing.
They're so rich,
Yeah.
and they really like fill out the scene. Like the characters themselves, just like they do their job. They emote really well, and like you really get a sense of that they're like it's like a tactile kind of thing. Like you get the sense that they're there and they're
Yeah.
real and they're responsive.
That's what Princess Mononoke does really well.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that's also a good one.
Ghibli.
I think they're all, most of them are on Netflix anyway. The Grave of the Fireflies isn't on Netflix. I think that's the only one.
'Cause it's fucked up, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a bleak film.
Mm.
A really bleak film about World War II.
Fuck that.
There's another one as well that's about World War II. Can't remember the name of it, but it has this really famous shot of like the bombs going off and just people getting fucked up. And it's like a really famous Japanese film. Can't remember the name of it though.
The Japs.
Because
The Japs and their bombs.
they're mad for it, man. Can't blame them, to be fair. They got
Yeah.
nuked to bits.
They got fucked up. Yeah, that's actually what happened to Shun's. Something. One of his parents died in like Nagasaki or something.
Bad way to go.
It's always everything traces back to the bomb, and all these.
A lot of it does. Like Akira. You ever watch that?
No.
Akira is like very directly about that,
Mm.
about the technology going too far and stuff like that. And like it starts off with like a nuclear explosion
Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that. It's like, and I think like Akira is the name of like a nuke or something, or like that's what you're led to believe anyway. I'm not gonna spoil Akira. Akira's very good, but yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's just like a lot of it like does revolve around the horrors of that humans can do to each other, and
Yeah,
the horrors
yeah.
of technology or whatever. Fair enough, to be fair.
Fair enough. It's funny that Japan, like, this place was like so backward, like, I don't know, ideologically,
Yeah,
like, was destroyed pretty much by like this basically like an alien bomb that
mm.
no one had ever seen before, like the future, like, manifest by blown up by a fucking nuclear bomb that no one had ever seen.
Yeah,
It's like a weird thing, you know.
and just
Like,
fucking whip them into the 21st century.
yeah,
basically.
yeah, it would psych you out, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because especially at that stage, like in the like, I know that like they had like big cities and stuff like that, but a lot of the big cities got destroyed with firebombs because a lot of it was just made of wood and stuff like that. Although I'd imagine that like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
way more died in the firebombing.
Yeah, way more, man. That's what Grave of the Fireflies kind of focuses on, is the firebombing. It's like, wow, places got fucked up with those firebombs. It's like Dresden.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez, Dresden.
It's poor Germans.
Those poor Germans. Dresden, man. Holy shit. Science 5 is a good book. I haven't read it in years.
Old Kurt.
Oh, Kurt Vonnegut.
Kurt Vonnie.
Mad fucker. Mad
Aye.
fucker. But yeah, I watched Good Morning.
Ozu.
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 Can't remember his first name. Something Ozu. You know, regarded as was one of the great Japanese directors up there with like Akira Kurosawa and stuff like that. But Good Morning is his like lighthearted film, and I decided to knock it on. And from what you're saying, it has like kind of similar themes to From Up on Poppy Hill, where like it's about modernity clashing with like tradition, and like that being, and it's set in like, it's like a 1954 film. I think that's when it came out. 58 came out in the 50s, I think.
Good morning.
Yeah, Good Morning. And it's about these two, like it's about like a lot of different things, but like the main plot or whatever is about these two boys, and their next door neighbor who doesn't have any kids has a TV, and they go over and they watch the TV with their friends, and their mom and dad are just like, come home and study, like stop wasting your time watching TV or whatever. And then they're like, okay, we'll spend time at home, but like get us a TV. And their mom and dad are like, absolutely not. So they refuse to talk, like point blank. They're like, we're not talking anymore until we get a TV. And that's just basically what the film is about. Like that's the driving like friction in the movie.
Mm.
Again, like low stakes, but like it is that like slice of life coziness to it. It's beautiful. Oh my god, the color palette is amazing. So many like pastel colors and like grays and beige colors and like these kind of like greens and stuff like that. And then like in the background you have like reds or blues or like yellows, whatever, and they just fucking pop and it looks amazing. It's so nice to watch. And like it's just again what you said, it's just kind of a cute film. But it like this, apparently Ozu's like main kind of thing is like the family and like the relationship between like children and their parents, and like the fact that like the parents are like, no, you're not getting a TV. Like we can like they can afford it, but like you're just not getting a TV. Like it'll make you stupid. Like what will happen? Like there's like a conversation that like the dad has in a kind of bar with these two dudes, and he's like, oh, television will make the Japanese stupid, and he's like, oh yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, what happened to Great Japan? Like TV will ruin our minds and make us stupid and lazy and stuff like that.
He was right.
Well, I was right, to be fair, but it's just that clash of like generations,
Old Japan, New Japan.
especially because because 1954, like those parents, like the kids, the oldest kid, I think he's meant to be like 10. He could be 11 or 10. So like he's just basically like born like just as the war ends, and then his little brother is like fucking 4 or 5, so he's like way too young to be aware of the war. But his parents have lived through the war and have lived through this like
the empire and all.
Like literally been living through the empire, and like all the grown-ups around them and stuff like that have. So it's this like clash, and like the kids are completely different to like the parents and stuff like that. But it's just a nice, cozy film. It's like a warm bath. Like the little boy, like they're learning English as well, which is funny. Like I haven't really seen that in many films, but like a main thing in this film is that they're learning English, and the little boy, he's just like, I love you. Like he just says I love you to people at the start, and he's like, I just want to give you a hug. You're so cute. And they wear like the two brothers wear like matching outfits.
Yeah.
It's just adorable film.
Yeah.
It's
it
such
sounds good.
It
Sounds
is.
cute.
It's super cute. And it's just like, there's like other characters as well. It's the same thing as the slice of life thing that you're talking about. All of them are like very unique. They all have like different traits, and just like they're very identifiable. Like there's like the neighbors. They have like this thing at the start where they have like a women's club among all the women in the neighborhood or whatever. And they're like, oh, the money never got paid to the chairperson. So they're like, this kind of like gossiping amongst all the moms. It's like, who the fuck took the money or whatever, and then it's just revealed as to like what caused it, which is like someone gave the money to like an older person, and the older person forgot about it to give it to the chairperson and stuff like that, and then like that develops into when the little boys stop talking. Like they walk past like one of the women who was like gossiping about their mom, and they don't say hello to her because like we're not talking to anyone, and that causes huge offense. And they talk about this whole like she then interprets, oh, that bitch told her kids that I forgot the money or whatever. Like she hates me because of this.
Yeah.
And it's like these little things about like, saying hello, good morning, all these type of things to people. It's like very small social interactions that we have that just like kind of keep things together, keep the clogs working. In like small communities and stuff like that. Even the fact that the film is called Good Morning, it's just about those small interactions that humans have, and there's a conversation about it as well, where like one of the guys says like, oh yeah, it's really easy to say meaningless things to each other, but it's really hard to say the important stuff. And he's a character that hasn't said that he loves you to someone that he loves, and stuff like that. But he's able to talk about the weather, he's able to talk about work, all the shit that doesn't matter. But he can't talk about how he feels. Which I guess is like this like kind of, because like Japanese people are like extremely friendly as well. Like they have like this, I'm pretty sure like I've read before or heard something before that in Japan like the biggest crime committed is bikes being stolen, but like it like something like 50% of them or 80% of them are returned. It's just someone took the wrong bike, because no one locks their bike in Japan. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So someone accidentally takes the wrong bike, and then they come back and they put it back.
Yeah.
So it's like the number one crime is bikes. Reported crime is bikes stolen, but they always come back nearly. And like there's like fuck all murders and stuff like that.
Strange.
It's a strange a strange country like that. It's like super super safe. But it's this thing where like they're not able to talk. They're super polite and friendly to each other, but they're not able to talk about the big important things. It's a very repressed country and stuff like that. And like Good Morning kind of touches on all these things very briefly, but like it's still like this sweet, wholesome, lovely, warm bath of a movie. I don't know. It's great. It's super super good.
Yeah, they did something right over there. Like, we need that here,
Yeah,
just cozy movies. Like we have cozy movies, but they're like twee. They're too like sweet.
Yeah.
And like saccharine.
Yeah.
I can't think of any, but like
I know what you mean.
There's some out there. Like it's like it's supposed to be like, but it's just like this is just too much,
Twee. Yeah. It's just like it's too sweet.
Yeah.
Like this film like touches on things that are a bit darker.
Yeah. They play it cool, like.
Yeah.
And there's something there. Obviously, in this one, definitely more so than from what you're saying, more so than Poppy Hill. Poppy Hill didn't really have anything to it. It was just like a mood piece, I suppose. But there's like it just played it cool, There wasn't like it wasn't like, oh, look at this, isn't this so cool? It was just like, this is it's like your reaction. This is cool.
Yes,
like this,
It's the same thing with It's the same thing with Good Morning, except like just these moments where these characters will have like conversations about things, and even the whole attitude that they're having is very natural about how they're talking about it, but it ends up revealing something a bit more about the characters and about like the country and whatever. I don't know, like
Good writing.
yeah, it's good writing is what it is. Like it's just something about like Japanese films are super fucking good for that though. Just a lot of them, especially like a lot of anime films, just super cozy, but just have like something else going on. Like My Neighbor Totoro. Like that film is like the coziest, cuddliest fucking film ever. But it's a film about dealing with the fact that your parent is dying.
Yeah.
And like it's just like how do you manage that? I don't know. It's something about it.
Those Japs.
Yeah, they just know what they're doing, bro.
What are they at like?
they just know how to make fucking movies and
How
stuff.
did they
like,
pull that out of the bag?
mm.
You know, or like Germany had the same thing happen to them. What do they have to show for it? Absolutely nothing.
Just extremely efficient filmmaking.
Extremely efficient. Not what you want.
Yeah.
All they have is Herzog, Fassbinder, someone like that.
I haven't seen any Fassbender movies.
Neither have I. I really want to watch Wire something, Walk on a Wire or something. It's like a TV series we're gonna watch. It's on my list. But
I have heard it. I think that's on my list as well. I've heard of that.
I want to watch that. It's like 10 parts or something.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, it's only like it's 10 hours long or something like that. I don't think it even is 10 hours. I think it's shorter than that.
Yeah, it might be. Because
they're 45 minutes. So
because he made like crazy amounts of films.
Mm.
But like they don't like. There's nothing that's that. It's not like Japan. Japan, they use like films from Mars. You know.
Yeah.
Completely different thing.
I think the thing though is that like Japan kind of ignored the fact that they committed their war crimes, whereas like Germany like still lives with that.
Which I suppose like.
Which is good. Like it's good that you live with that, but
it's good. But
in
like
doing so, all your films are like kind of cold or something. I don't know.
Is it worth it for the bad films?
It's not even bad films. It's just like different.
They're just American films, but with German talking.
I can't even think of any like German films I've ever.
They don't really have any. That's the thing.
Like I can just think of Herzog films. Like Lives of Others is good, but that's about like. But that's like.
It's like an American film.
But that's about the fucking the Stavy fucking watching over them and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Stavy.
Yeah, like
it's like you know, like
it's like the communism is bad.
Yeah, come on, like it's like that's something an American would make. You know, Japan, like the Chinese wouldn't make that. The Americans wouldn't make what the Japanese make. You know,
I saw some.
Europe should have something.
Europe should have something. It does. Europe does have that.
The French more so though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. French films are great. French films are very good for that as well. But they do they do like slice of life things as well. But they're really fucking dramatic, and they deal with really harsh things. Like that film. It's got your one from Inception in it. I think 5 days, 4 nights or something like that.
Marion Cotillard.
Yeah, she's great. She's amazing. But she's in the film, and it's the whole film is her going around to people asking them, because they're having like a vote or something in her work to fire her. I don't know why the fuck that's the thing, but it is a thing in the film.
Imagine that you're like campaigning to keep your job.
Yeah, I think it's 3 days, 2 nights. Actually, I think that's what it's called, because it's her over the weekend going around to everyone, begging them not to fire her.
Yeah,
because they're like, if they vote to keep her on, they all lose their Christmas bonus or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like her begging them to do it. So it's like,
that's a good idea.
It's like slice of life, but it's also like extremely dramatic.
Like,
and
why would you do that?
Super upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
But the Japanese just kind of, I don't know, because out of the few, like more so anime, I think, because the Ghibli films, I assume that, but that's why like Ghibli films are regarded as like the best kids movies, because they do deal with like super serious shit, but also do it in a nice way,
in a fun way,
in a fun cuddly way. Like Princess Mononoke isn't really. It's a family movie. Like dudes get their hands or their arms fucking cut off in that film, or like an arrow and stuff like that. That film's pretty violent, but it's also like it's a cozy kind of film as well.
It's whimsical.
It's like it's whimsical's not even the right term for it. It's more like it's about the woods and nature, but it's about, and then it's against like modernity coming in, like just like, you know, raping the land and like stripping it of its essence and stuff like that. It's good.
Yeah. Well,
Howl's Moving Castle isn't about any of that shit. Howl's Moving Castle is just a fun time.
yeah, stuff like that.
That's just about magic, bro.
That's just straightforward. Hence why we ate it up.
I love that shit. Eat it up. Do you want to go for a break?
Oh, yeah.
And And we are back from the break with a bang. Yeah, the Frenchmen, they just,
What are they at? Bottling everything.
bottling everything, yeah. They bottle the fucking everything. But the way the France, like, we were talking about French people, the French cinema, they do kind of cozy films. Not really cozy, but like dramatic films. Well, I watched The Diving Bell and the Butterfly, which is based on the true story of Jean-Dominique Bobet, but I don't pronounce his name. He was do you know anything about this?
No, I don't know the story.
It's he was a magazine editor.
Oh, L, yeah, directed or edited L, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he was the editor of L. Sorry, as in L, as in like the letter.
L,
I was like,
as
what are you
French, she.
Yeah, because he did a fashion magazine. That's what his whole thing was.
Yeah.
He suffered a stroke, and when he awoke, he had locked-in syndrome. And
probably the worst. Probably the last thing you want.
The last fucking thing you'd ever forget being, on lockdown, being locked in your house, not being able to move,
Imagine being locked in your own body.
and not being able to communicate with anyone around you.
Yeah.
The only way that he communicated with people was that he had control of his left eye. He was able to blink, and through that wrote a book, because they did the whole like ABCD thing.
Yeah.
And he's able to like blink, and they were able to communicate that way.
Jesus.
And he wrote a book.
Who wrote it for him? Who was there doing that the entire time?
Some like writer, some editor or whatever. She was there for him because he learned how to do it, and then he was like, I want to write a book, because he had a book deal before he had a stroke, and they called up the people and like, here, he's still alive, so you have to honor this. And they were just like, how? And he's like, don't worry, you just get someone over here, someone that has a lot of patience and can deal with this, and we'll write a book or whatever. But he wrote the book on his experience of being locked in, and wow, what a fucking sense of loneliness. Like,
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
it's like extremely upsetting, but also like it shows the kind of power and like bravery and I don't know, the like resilience of the human mind or whatever. Because like you'd imagine like you'd go fucking insane through that. But what he talks about is the fact that like he was able to escape wherever his body by just his imagination, and he would just imagine things and like remember his life and just remember just being there and like living through that. And it's like the only way that you can escape that type of fucking insanity or going insane in that situation is to just lose yourself in your imagination. And it's an incredible story. He only lived a year though locked in because he ended up getting pneumonia and he died. He died 3 days after the book was published.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But in a year he wrote this book, like through blinking.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive. It's kind of sad though.
Yeah, it's really, really sad.
He died.
And he died.
Jeez. Sad story.
It's a very sad story.
What is he like how is it like articulated? Like what's it like?
Some shots of it are like first person.
So it's just him like
you're just seeing it from him, and then every so often like you'll get a blink, whatever.
Mm.
It's really, really well shot. Like the cinematography really conveys that like sense, especially because like the camera's just like stuck still, obviously because he can't move. And like people will like talk, whatever, and like every so often like you get a blink of them, like whatever's going on, and you get the inner dialogue, like monologue that's going on inside of his head, and then it'll escape the first person. Like it's not entirely in first person, like the first third of it is, but then it'll move away from that. But it's kind of seamless. Like it's not really jarring when it moves out of third person, because the first time that you get it like outside of his first person view is through his imagination, and you see him. There's there's a bit where like, so his right eye was like shut and he couldn't move it. And I think because of that, they're like, I don't know, for whatever reason, they're like, we need to sew it up.
What?
So they sewed up his right eye, but like he could still see through it, but he couldn't feel anything. So like there's a shot of like from his perspective of his eyelid being sewed up.
That's not nice.
Man, it's just,
I suppose it'd get all dry, wouldn't it?
I think that was the reason why the it wouldn't like the muscles weren't working and stuff like that. So your eye would kind of get all fucked up from that.
Yeah, true.
So they just sewed it up. But oh man, it's just like fucking hell. And like he couldn't eat, he couldn't do anything. Like he literally could not move. He's completely like locked in his body.
That's such a like a downer. Like I'd rather be dead.
It's a oh man, 100%. He says at one point he's like, I want to die, because he can't. He's just like he's just stuck like that, and he can't do anything. He was like slowly. Excuse me. Like before he died, he was like very slowly like gaining control of his tongue and stuff like that. So like eventually he might have been able to eat, or maybe even talk, because he could make like. Because he could breathe.
Yeah.
So like, if he possibly could have like made noises.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because he never made any noises in the film, so I don't know if he made any noises in real life.
Well, if he has control of his, or he's gaining control of his tongue, that means they're like, the rest would probably follow, or some parts would.
Yeah.
So maybe he was on the mend. But there's no point really thinking about that. Even a year locked in, I'd rather die. Yeah. I'd rather be dead.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the same. You'd be fucked.
You'd be fucked.
You'd be insane.
Yeah.
Completely insane.
Because you're completely isolated. Even though people are around you, you're still completely isolated.
Yeah, people around you, you're not in my position.
Yeah.
Like, this is no help,
Yeah.
Like, you're no comfort here. I'm trapped in here,
But like, I imagine it would have helped when he was like being able to blink or whatever. But like that, it's such a slow process. And but like the way that it depicts it was like he had like humor to it as well, like because it's such a fucking absurd situation to be in. He did find some bits of it funny because it's based on the book, so I imagine that like it's based off passages where like there's a bit where like his friend is talking to him, and like he's trying to talk back to him, so like he's blinking, and like he's like, your man's like writing it down, whatever, and he's like going like he's reading out the alphabet to him, but he's not looking at him, and like the monologue is, you need to fucking look at me, you idiot, because I'm not gonna be able to like, and then your man goes like, oh shit, sorry, I need to look at you, obviously, but again, like they got quicker obviously because the way that the alphabet was written out for him was the most common letters were first, so like eventually like they were able to recite it off like straight, like not even having to look at it or whatever, and just recite it off to him, and he'd be able to like communicate like pretty quickly compared to like looking at an alphabet and like doing it that way. But still, it's like that bit in Breaking Bad, the fella who can only ding the bell.
Yeah.
He didn't have locked-in syndrome, but
he was
like,
way better off.
He was way better off, man.
At least he had a bell.
Yeah,
he could use his fingers and
ding,
stuff,
ding, ding.
And he could make noise and stuff.
Make faces.
He could make faces. I think that's really key. So isn't that what Stephen Hawking had? Like I know he had
he had ALS, didn't he, or something
like that. But I know the way you'd see him in interviews. Whenever he would have an interview, and he'd have like, he'd just respond to the questions. Like he'd get the questions in advance, and then he'd program it into the computer, because he had this thing where like he didn't, because he had his like trademark voice, and so he didn't move on to like a Siri kind of voice, because it was like his thing. But something about the fucking equipment he used, it was like really slow, and like it was based off like that kind of thing where it was like it went by letters, and you had to like key in each letter at a time as it went through the alphabet. Or maybe at the start, or maybe he got quicker towards the end, but that's how he started out. Like it was just extremely slow, and any like writing he did or interviews, it was all prepared for hours or like days in advance. Fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like,
yeah, bad vibes.
Like, especially it's like in that situation, like there's nothing you can do. And it's super rare that it happens though, like locked-in syndrome. But even the fact that like you can just suffer a stroke and then that's it. Like you'll live.
Yeah, you'll live, but at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost?
I'd rather be dead.
Oh, same. I think I would as well.
It's like, and like it's so rare. You wake up and you're like, I'm locked in. That's a sign I need to fucking go. I need to get out of here. This is it. Yeah. This isn't some like Job biblical test,
But you can't even do anything about it. Like you can't even.
I know, yeah.
You're reliant on someone to like euthanize you. Or
get a little like Valium fucking OD or whatever.
Yeah.
They do that all the time, don't they?
Yeah.
in hospitals and stuff.
You can go to like Norway or whatever to do that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Should that be legal here soon enough? But
It's fucked
yeah, it's fucked up.
Fucked up.
Jeez, that's so sad.
Yeah.
When was this?
Happened to him in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, you can't do anything about that then, can you?
Yeah. No, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing. Like he
I suppose the technology would be faster now. Like they'd have a better system for it.
I assume they would, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have something like it's. I think especially now, like I imagine now they'll eventually have something where like your eyes can dart to the
Yeah.
to the letters.
It'll tell.
It'll tell that way, and it'll be able to react quicker. Like you just be able to look at the A, B, C, D, whatever, and just do it that way. I imagine that's eventually going to be a thing.
Yeah. That'd be pretty handy.
Is
Then
that
you wouldn't
thing
be that bad.
Isn't the thing that like that Elon's like the Neuralink thing though, like what is it, like deaf people will be able to hear, but like one of the main things is like people that can't talk whatever will have like a voice because they'll be to like think their thoughts, and a robot or whatever will fucking speak it for them.
I'll say it. Yeah. Yeah. Is that real though?
I've no idea. I doubt it.
I'd say something like
Half
that.
the things that he say I don't fucking believe, man.
Yeah. But like I'd say something like it is correct. Like you know the way they had those hands that were like that are connected to the brain
Yeah.
that you can use with your thing. Like you'd have that. Like if you had locked in syndrome, I'd be like, maybe I wouldn't be like, please kill me. I'd be like, get me like a mecha suit. I want to be like a fucking
Iron Man.
I want to something like that. You know, I want to be like.
Do they
super
base?
strong or
Do they
something.
base it off the? But the problem, no. But I think one of the problems is with locked in, or like his case of locked in, was that it severed. The stroke was so bad that it severed his like in his neck or whatever. So the way that I imagine that works is that it relies off like electricity or whatever from the brain. So maybe you're not able to do it that way. If it's connected to the wires in your brain or whatever, like it needs to connect from the spine or something. Maybe I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, you just connect higher up in the spine.
But that becomes more dangerous, I think.
Does it?
But at that
Well,
stage,
it's like a 50-50.
You're just like, yeah, well,
let's go.
I can either move my arm or I can die, and you know,
Yeah.
I like those odds.
I like those odds.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 chance. I'll take it.
I'll take it. Like it's fucking grim, but like,
yeah.
if especially because like there's a bit as well where like his kids are with him, and he's just like, he's just talking about, like, I can't even scrub their heads. I can't do anything. His son is like rubbing the saliva off his chin and stuff like that. You're just like, fucking hell.
Fucked up.
It's such a grim movie, but it also shows, you know, the human spirit and, you know, what you can even achieve in even those awful circumstances, where he was able to write a book about like his experience and tell people about like his story. And I haven't read it. I've never even heard of people talking about this book or anything. I've only heard of the film just because of its core concept of being like first person of someone in locked in.
Yeah, I've heard of the film before.
It's good. It is really good. I think it won something. It's won a few awards. It might have won an Oscar. It definitely won. It won the Palme d'Or the year that it came out.
When did it come out? 90s.
No, I think 2006.
2006.
Yeah, like a new enough film. Last 20 years anyway.
Where's it playing?
Mubi. It was on Mubi. It was actually. It's
it
leaving.
was on Mubi.
It's leaving Mubi in the next like week, I think.
Is it?
Like Irish Mubi.
I see Lolita's leaving Mubi.
Did you ever watch Lolita?
No. Not the. I haven't. No, I've never watched Lolita.
I read
Lolita.
I read the book.
Nabokov.
Yeah.
He was a horny bastard.
Like Lolita's like, I like. I'm pretty sure like Gen Zers like discovered that Lolita was a thing, and they tried to cancel it. It's like,
did they?
I remember seeing something about that, like on Twitter or whatever. Like that's just Twitter talk. I'm sure like a small subsect of someone once, probably one person tweeted that, and people were like, "There's a book about a pedophile. That's fucked up."
Yeah, man, they tried to cancel him in the 50s. You know.
Yeah.
Even back then, they're like, "That's too far."
Yeah, that is fun. Like when you read it. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's horrific.
Humbert, you fucking dog.
But like the whole thing of the book though of like Lolita is like, it's such a well written book that you fall for Humber even though he's a pedo.
Yeah. I've never watched the film though. The Jeremy Irons one is on Mubi.
Yeah,
and it's leaving soon.
It's Stanley Kubrick directed one though, didn't he?
He did, which I kind of want to see, but like I haven't heard a lot about it. You know, like everyone talks about, or you always hear people talking about most of his other films, but you never hear much about Lolita.
No.
So maybe it's a miss.
Yeah, maybe it is.
You know, I don't think it's like, why would you adapt that really?
Imagine if they tried to adapt that now, like.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah, I don't think you could.
You just
like,
get Kevin Spacey in. One last ride, you know?
yeah, it's Harvey fucking Weinstein produced.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer directs it. He's the pedo, isn't he?
Yeah, Ryan
Or like
Singer.
they get fucking
Jeffrey
Polanski.
Epstein. Yeah, Roman Polanski, yeah. And,
To be fair, that's some fucking cast. Like
that's a great
like,
setup.
if that's like back in like the 90s or whatever. Although Polanski, I'm pretty sure raped that girl like years even before that. But like
People still loved him till very recently. Well, they still do today.
People still I don't I'm never gonna think that what Polanski did was okay. But I also do think that his family died in the Holocaust and his wife was murdered by the Mansons. Like, I'm not surprised that dude is a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, he had an insane life.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's also fucked up. But yeah, that's a great little setup there. That movie, like in the 90s, that's winning awards.
Yeah.
That's winning major awards.
Yeah.
You know.
And then we look back at it now and
we're like, how do we not see that? Yeah. They're like, man, it was a different time, you know. Just a lot of pedos making a movie about Lolita.
Or like, Lars von Trier directs it or something like that.
Yeah.
God no! Don't let that man near that story.
Yeah, he'd make it like hardcore.
Yeah, I know he would. You ever hear the thing about him and Bjork? He abused the shit out of her on Dances in the Dark. I think that film's called.
Did he?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. I didn't know about that until recently. Would have mentioned that during our Antichrist talk, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh well. Sure. Look.
But she had a fucked up life as well. That's someone, and she's still a queen.
Bjork.
She had Lars von Trier, like, and she had a stalker who, like, we've talked about before. So
yeah, he was mad.
He was crazy.
But she had the last laugh there, you know.
I heard something that her like house cleaner or something actually opened up the bomb and died.
Did she?
I heard that somewhere.
I don't know about that.
But I couldn't find when we were looking at that story. I couldn't find that.
I doubt that now. I think that was intercepted. That was, I very clearly remember.
I remember reading
that it was intercepted.
Yeah,
and that they're like, here, there's a bomb in that.
Yeah.
Don't open it. Or like it was something like when he delivered it, like the mailman had just left, and it was like it wasn't going out, and they found him like before it had even been like shipped to the next. I don't know. I can't remember really well, but something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, loads of weird people out there.
A lot of problematic men. That's the
yeah,
problem.
men are the problem.
Name one problematic woman. Can't.
You can't. Go on, do it.
Do it.
Think.
There's probably one.
Right now.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm just thinking like, I don't know.
Yeah, try
shitty politicians.
Eva Braun.
Man,
it's a different time, you know.
You know the way at the start of this episode,
she was in an abusive relationship.
You know at the start of this episode, we were talking about like how if the the fascist uprising happens, we're fucked. I think after like that reaction, like Eva Braun, I think when this communist rising comes up, we're also fucked.
Oh yeah, we're covered from all bases here, you know. We just have
we're centrists, man.
We're reliant on the status quo. Anything changes in this country, we're out of here. You know, we're fucked.
I'm fleeing.
I'm getting out of here. I'm going to America, and I'm posting on Twitter about how people have to free my country. You know, all those Venezuelans and all that.
Oh yeah, we go to Cuba.
Yeah, exactly.
Cuba seems right. Cuba seems fun enough. Hot weather.
Going to North Korea.
That's where you need to go, bro. That's where you get
that place is
real
actually
freedom
class.
of speech.
You know, they're hiding it from us though.
They're hiding how good it is.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, communism actually won. You know, it's actually great. Juice or whatever it's called over there.
Juice.
Yeah, that's their version.
Is it? I never heard of that.
No, that's all. That was all made up.
Yeah, we don't support.
We don't condone the North Korean regime.
Just to put that out there, just in case
the South Koreans come after us.
Yeah. Oh man, Park Chan-wook though, I love him. Our whole episode last week. Do you see, man? When I uploaded that Song Kang Ho fan club
thing.
We got 2 views like almost immediately on YouTube, and we never get views on YouTube.
That's the Song Ho fan club. Fucking fandom out there, you know. They know what they're at.
It's like the Bundleloaf boys.
Yeah, there's definitely a Tumblr hashtag out there, and it's just pictures of him and gifs of him.
Oh my god, 100%.
You know, we should start a Tumblr.
Oh yeah, man, that's how we get that's how we get fans. That's how we boost those numbers back up.
We're just like, cancelled into oblivion. You know, we have to go into hiding. You know.
I'm pretty sure that if this podcast got in any way, like any like form of like sort of traction, we're cancelled to bits.
Yeah. Well, you have to embrace it. You know, it's too late now. I'm not going.
Hey, we're 45 episodes in. It's too late now.
We can't go back editing all the bad parts out. There's like 100 hours of it there. You know.
Oh yeah. All of our episodes are like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Too fucking long.
Yeah. How long is this one now? 1 hour to 10.
10 minutes. We move on to our recommended film of the week.
We'll move on to our recommended film of the week, The Wall, directed by Alan Parker, based on The Wall by Pink Floyd, the band. This is a film released in 1981 or 82, something like that. The Wall, the album is from 1979, but it's a rock opera, which they were huge into back in the 70s. Back in the 70s, there's a lot of cocaine, a lot of stimulants floating about. And all the people from the 60s that had survived the 60s got like way too up their own hole, and they decided that like they were like, oh, let's make like extremely long albums that are like also stories and stuff. And some of them are good.
A lot of them are shit.
Most of them are really, really bad. Shit. And you have stuff like The Who had like Tommy and Quadrophenia. Apparently Quadrophenia is really good. But then you have Pink Floyd. I get into loads of stuff like that. And they have The Wall, which I think is the most famous example of a rock opera. Where
probably, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking like, because I was gonna say Night at the Opera, but that's not that at all. The Queen album, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's like where it has like a story and like everything runs into it. It's like a multimedia experience, because The Wall is like really famous now, I suppose, because Roger Waters still does all those tours.
Mm-hmm. He still does The Wall.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
My dad brought it. My dad was mad at the Pink Floyd. My dad was. I watched this with my dad last night, and he's saying like because when you went to go see it in the cinema when it first came out, like people were just smoking joints in the cinema, watching it and stuff like that. Because like, yeah, I mean that's what I feel like that's the way they're meant to watch or experience that film.
Yeah, that's what they wanted, you know.
But because I never knew like about Pink Floyd when I was like, man, I have no idea when it came out. I feel like I was like 11, 10, 9. I was around that age with the first time I saw it. It was in the Point. It was still the O2.
Yeah, the O2.
Is that what it was called before?
Yeah.
It was still called that, so that's a while ago. And then I saw it in the Aviva when it came back another time. But like, yeah, it was way better than the O2 because it was an indoor concert. But just the spectacle of it was amazing, amazing. And they use the animation that's in the film on like projected onto the wall, and they use like puppetry and stuff like that. It's really fucking cool, really really cool.
Yeah, I think it was like the best-selling tour, like multiple times over, because he did it a lot.
Yeah,
because he left Pink Floyd in, I think, the mid '80s. Like he left them, and then he went to. They had the whole thing where like the band falls out, and he brought them to court. And his reason for like he was like the band has to stop using the name Pink Floyd, and the judge was like, why? And he was like, because Pink Floyd is like played out. It's like it's not cool anymore. Yeah. And the judge is like, that doesn't make any legal sense. And so they,
like, I feel you, bro.
I feel you, but that doesn't hold up in the court of law. And so he basically like they I think David Gilmour still used it for quite a while afterwards, but like Roger Waters was touring with the Wall for like decades, I think. And I just remember seeing the ads on TV. They were always on TV advertising it, and I think they're like the best selling tours for like a solo artist, like multiple times over.
Yeah, because that was the thing. Because I always remember there being a weird thing about like seeing the Wall, but not understanding what it was, and it's because it was Roger Waters' The Wall and not Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing about it, because it was Roger Waters performing The Wall. It wasn't Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Pink Floyd had like dissipated, and they reunited briefly, and then they disappeared again. I think only two of them are left, 2 or 3 of them now. But that's the thing from the whole plot, I suppose, of The Wall. It's based on or it's written by Roger Waters. Both the album and the film. The film is like the screenplay is by Roger Waters. He wrote he read a few screenwriting books and like decided, I'll have a go at the script. And your man Alan Parker, who did Commitments and Mississippi Burning and a few other musicals as well. He really got around. He's a pretty iconic director.
Yeah.
But he was he was a director for this, and there's loads of animation sequences and stuff. But the story itself follows Pink, a character called Pink, who's based on Roger Waters and another guy who used to be in Pink Floyd called Syd Barrett. Syd Barrett was one of the original members of Pink Floyd, but he was only around for the first album. I think a little bit for the second one, from about I think it was 66 to 68. He had the biggest influence on, I think, the first one, Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and he was like the main guy on the front cover, and he was like this like songwriting genius in the late 60s. Pink Floyd was huge in like the psychedelic rock kind of the beginnings of all that stuff, and they have these massive, like Piper at the Gates of Dawn has like the song Astronomy Domine, which just goes on for ages, and it's like really like, you know, really guitar driven, and it's like about space. And it's like, it was something that really people really drew on, and the whole space rock kind of thing was a vibe that Pink Floyd really like put its mark down on it, but it had like a massive influence on everything around it. But Syd Barrett was the guy who kind of started that, and he was like their main songwriter, their main kind of creative force for the first few years. But then he went insane, as a lot of people tended to do in the late 60s.
It's acid, bro.
That's literally what it was. He's one of the most famous acid casualties of the late 60s. He got too into the old acid, the old magic dragon, and he was only 21 at the time, younger than us.
Yeah.
And he was like hugely famous, and he was like at the top of his game, like writing songs like it was no one's business. He just started taking way too much acid. Roger Waters and like David Gilmour, they have like different recollections of like some say it was like one weekend he came back from like a binge, and he was just completely different. And there's a story of him, one of the band members called to his gaff, and they couldn't find him, and they went upstairs, and his housemates were all laughing, and he was like, "Oh, what are you laughing at?" And they all just like looked at the corner, and they pointed at this closet, and inside the closet was like Syd Barrett, like in the fetal position, just like tripping out, having a really bad time. But he kept doing that, and like he slowly lost his mind.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, to a point that like he had to be kicked out of the band. Like one day they're going to a gig, and they just decided, let's not bother picking him up.
Yeah,
because he'd been getting like really erratic and stuff. There's clips on YouTube of him like just not playing the guitar in the middle of sets, or like not saying the words, or being really rude to interviewers in America, which is like a huge deal for a small band at the time. But the character Pink is based on that. And then partly on Roger Waters' life, like his early life, which you see in the start of the film, because the whole thing's about, he's like kind of like this war orphan, which Roger Waters was. Like they all came up.
Roger Waters was.
Roger Waters was. Because they all grew up or were born in the 40s, so they have this memory of the war, but they're not veterans.
They weren't. Yeah, because I think he was born 1945. I think he actually born 1944, 1945, maybe 46. So he was literally born like just as the war was ending.
Yeah, so they didn't know anything about it, but they knew they're in like a whole different world now.
Yeah,
and so
especially
they could reinvent things.
Especially with like the Battle of Britain and stuff like that.
Yeah,
plays a key role in the film.
Yeah, because Roger Waters' dad was a big union man, a Communist Party member. He was a pacifist as well. And originally he was against the war, but he changed his mind at some point, and decided
these Nazis are pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, he was like, he saw the camps. He's like, I don't know about this. You know, he went off to Europe basically, and he got fucked up. He died. He died in the Battle of Anzio in Italy, which is also mentioned in the film. So it's like a very direct kind of like callback to Waters himself, and like there's different sequences that relate to different members of the band. But yeah, like it's all very biographical in that sense, you know.
What did you think about The Wall?
The Wall itself?
Yeah, the film. Or the album. Both, I guess, in this film.
Honestly,
in this context.
I don't like The Wall. I just don't get it. Like I like the main ones, you know, like Comfortably Numb, Run Like Hell.
Education, that one.
Yeah, that's just catchy, like.
Man, that's a tune, like that's a banger.
That is. It's just like the little children's choir. It's
yeah.
Like,
we don't need no tune.
That's the vibe. But I still associate it with like fucking traffic crossing
Man,
ads and stuff.
I just realized now that we're just gonna get fucking hit with a copyright claim because I'm gonna use Pink Floyd music for our transition. Forgetting to do it for the past couple of weeks because we keep getting copyright claims. But
We'll be alright. Here, man, we'll just DM Roger Waters. He's like you'd know his dad was a fucking, a comic.
yeah, it's like
He's like Bob Geldof if Bob Geldof had a brain and wasn't a complete wanker,
yeah.
Bob Geldof is also in this film. He is Pink. He's the main character, Pink.
It's good, isn't it?
He's good.
Plays a very sad man very well.
Yeah, he plays a really fucked up guy. He's not really like he's not the main character in the way you'd see in like a conventional film.
No.
Like just kind of follows him around. He doesn't really say that much. I think he sings some parts.
I don't think he has any dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't think he does have any dialogue.
He just kind of mopes around.
I think his one bit of dialogue is just screaming no at one stage, and that's it.
Yeah. When he's
Or
breaking out
stop.
the thing. Yeah, stop. But yeah, there's like this cool story of like of when they were trying to get him on board because originally he was going to star Roger Waters. Obviously, Roger Waters is completely up his own hole. Very like writing a song about or writing an album first about himself, then a movie, and then trying to star in that movie.
Yeah.
But it got to an extent that like they're like, or no, he was attached as the lead, and they're like, this isn't working, Roger. We need someone else. And
I was like, what the fuck do you mean it's not working?
Yeah, it's all over here. I'm taking you to court, But so they tried to get Bob Geldof, and Bob Geldof's manager tried to pitch it to him as they're coming back from an airport, and they're in a taxi, and Bob Geldof is just like, this is a fucking joke. Are you for real? This is not going to work at all. This is a terrible idea. And then the taxi driver turns around, and he's like,
this is something really funny, but I was like, this is a fucking joke. Are you for real?
Are you for fucking real? The Waldo movie. Are you having a laugh? I'm in the Boontown Rats. Why would I be in this? But then the taxi driver turns around, he's like, I'm Roger Waters' brother. And just like, whoops. So then he signed on. Out of embarrassment, I suppose. I don't know. But it's like, sorry about that, bro. But no, he's good in this. He's really good.
Yeah, he is really good. To be fair, everyone is pretty good in it.
Yeah.
Particularly the animation. The animation is the star in this thing.
The animation is class.
The animation is so fucking good.
Surreal. Trippy.
Oh, so good. Especially the war imagery in particular is my favorite bits of it. Like the I can't even. It's so hard to describe what it is, but the big thing that then turns into another thing, and all the planes come out of it, and you have these weird like creatures that are like scurrying away from the bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then like the massive asshole at the end that like threatens to take a shite on Bob Geldof. And,
and just
he's strapped in the wall.
And then you just have the fucking the plants that are just a vagina and a dick just duking it out.
Yeah, that was really weird. I was like, because it's like weaving in and out. You're like, that's, and you're like, no, it's not. And then like, oh, it is.
It's like, is that a vagina? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Oh no, it is. That's a vagina. And then it's like, is that a dick? And like it becomes really big. And you're like, oh, that's a dick. And then it goes shrink down. It's like, wait, no, it's not. It's like, oh no, that's a dick.
It's a rose. Oh no, it's a dick.
That's a dick. And then they turn into snakes biting each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So whose like wife cheated on them? Was that an actual thing, or did they just make that up?
I'm sure a lot of them did, because I think that part of the story was based on Roger Waters' personal life. He's like divorced like 4 or 5 times.
That part was fucking boring.
Yeah.
Big part, like I like this because I like The Wall. I do like The Wall. I like most of the music in it. I think the middle portion of it is fucking slow and boring, but I do like The Wall. Particularly, I like the two ends of it. Like the middle, I like the start of it is slaps, all the childhood stuff. I think that's all great, and I think the end of it, when it's very obvious what The Wall represents, like isolation and whatever, blocking yourself off, that's all very good. And the fascism shit, I thought that was just weird and cool. But Jesus, that middle portion where he's just kind of like losing it, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of repetitive or something. And like the music is like kind of drony. It's just it's just kind of boring.
Where it's all like, even the music is repetitive.
Yeah,
but it's like a psychotic break or something.
Yeah,
because that is based on the Sid Barrett episode,
and it is like done on purpose for that reason. It doesn't detract from the fact that I found it to be boring.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. I like the fascist aspect, because like the whole thing is Pink is like this depressed rock star, and he's like disillusioned with the industry, and he decides to build up this wall around him, metaphorically, and then like later, physically, and like metaphysically, I suppose, and stuff. But like, he has these dreams where he's a fascist leader, which I think is something that Roger Waters came up with in terms of how he sort of perceived like fame at the time.
Yeah.
Or I think even then you had that phase where David Bowie was like a fascist and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, Hitler did nothing wrong and stuff. Like people were just going crazy with these like weird conceptions of or just playing with the idea of fame, I suppose. And Roger Waters had this idea that that Pink Floyd had been like sort of commodified in a way that they're just kind of like these artifacts, just something that's just sort of like
icons.
Yeah, just kind of like an aesthetic icon that it didn't really matter what the songs were about or really the music itself. It was just the fact that they were famous and that everyone knew who they were and their name. And I think that's what that draws on, like the fascist aspect of it. Like it's all just like it's Pink up on stage as kind of like a degenerated Syd Barrett character.
Yeah,
hairless, fucked up, and he's going after all like the
minorities.
Yeah, all the lessers in the crowd, because he has the power, because everyone knows who he is. But it doesn't matter what he says or or like what he does. Really, it's just like
you're just like, oh yeah, you're Pink Floyd.
You're Pink Floyd. You're the man, and there's nothing else to it. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I did like that bit. I actually didn't because like it's a very symbolic film, and like for the most part, it's very obvious what it symbolizes. Like if his wife is cheating on him, and then there's two flowers, one of them turns into a vagina and it consumes the other one. It's like, I wonder what that's about. Or like even like the school teacher shit. That's all very literal.
It's so on the nose, yeah.
But the fascist thing, I was like, I am not 100% certain what that is talking about.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. That it is just like you can say whatever you want when you're famous and people will follow you.
Yeah, it's the whole personality cults,
parasocial relationships.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, and the whole Britain at the time, crazy place. You have Thatcherite Britain.
Yeah, Jesus.
Roger Waters hated Thatcher, really hated her, and the society that that Britain was becoming, all that kind of stuff.
I've heard this film like being described on like letterboxes, like, we live in a society. The film.
It is, yeah,
and it is that, but I also think it's like. It's also like a very personal film that kind of removes that like, oh, we live in a society, because like it doesn't really say that much about like society really. I feel like it's way more about like Roger Waters' life or whatever, and especially like you can say like, oh, we live in a society, but like it's it's 1950s Britain, which was a shit fucking time, and it's also about 1970s Britain, which is also a fucking shit time, and 1980s like Thatcherite Britain, which is also a fucking shit time. Like that was a society.
that was a society.
That was a society. Like that's what we. If Joker, it's like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Like Joker's like, I still think about the fact that Joker literally has basically, we live in a society line. I still think about that.
That's what it's based on. Yeah, that's the thing. But
it's based on the wall.
But the wall, see, the wall gets away with it because the context. Like this is.
Yeah, this has the context to make those critiques.
Yeah, this film is cringeworthy. Like it's on the nose for me anyway. Like it's so on the nose. It's like cringeworthy at times, and it's like like you didn't have to like spell it out. Like some of the lyrics are just so they just say what they mean, which is good in a way. He's not like dancing around the point or trying to be like, all highfalutin and stuff. But
yeah, would you say this is like I was thinking about this before, or especially with The Wall, because do you ever hear the Nostalgia Critic? You know him? He's like a YouTube. Yeah, you know him, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did, I think last year, the year before, he did like a review quotation marks of The Wall, where he basically like recreated The Wall, and like it was him singing over it was his critique. But like the problem is that like he fundamentally misunderstands The Wall. Like he was like the whole like school teacher shit. He was saying like, oh, I can't remember, I haven't watched the fucking 50-minute long video. I'm not fucking watching this bullshit fucking fake album that he made. Well, not even fake album. He started selling it. It's the real album. Shit album. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But like he sums it up as like, when they're talking about the school, as like, oh, I had a bad teacher once. All teachers are bad. We live in a society, is basically what he sums it up to. But like made comparisons to like modern American education system. I was like, firstly, he's not talking about America. Secondly, he's talking about 1950s. Like, you can't make that comparison. And I think that, like, it is very literal, but it also adds to, like, how oppressive that society was and how oppressive the education system was. It's also extremely literal of, like, kids on a conveyor belt being, like, grinded into meat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's, like, the kids fall down a chute and then they're ground into sausage meat.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like I found that really just like cheesy and stuff. But,
I found it cheesy as well.
But that's like, you know, you sort of look past that because there is, you know, it's not about American. Oh, I hate school. You know, it's about the class system in Britain in the 50s, which like Roger Waters is like, you know, working class guy. His father worked in the fucking steel mill or something. He was going to be an electrical engineer before he became a fucking singer or a bassist. You know. Like he knew what it was like back then. It was very, very different how it is now. And even this album was released in '82, the album was released in '79. And this film was released in '82. Started Thatcher, very, very different to now, but also very, very different to the '50s.
Yeah,
and even like, you know, this is a society. Like that's the famous quote by Margaret Thatcher. There is no such thing as society.
Yeah,
you know, there's context there. There's something to like latch onto. Like it's not just like a shallow kind of thing where it's like, oh, I hate school, man.
School's a lot of bollocks.
School's a lot of shite, man. You know?
They don't teach you nothing in school.
Yeah. There's other stuff there, you know. Like I think it is a bit like dumb in a way, but it's dumb in a way that like is like accessible and it's like something you can like talk about.
Yeah, that's why like,
you know,
because like one of the things that like the nostalgia critic said was like, oh, it's really pretentious, but I don't think it's pretentious at all because
it's the exact opposite. I think
it's so accessible, it's so literal, it's almost too literal in some sense. But like, that's not even a drag against it, because it's still like, I don't know. There's still something There's still something creepy about the image of like kids on a conveyor belt being turned into meat. Like, that's still a very literal, very overused image, but it still works in the film. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. If someone made this film in like the Soviet version of Pink Floyd made this film, people were like, oh, this says everything about like this is like a fucking.
This is a critique on capitalism, bro.
This is critiquing, you know, communism or whatever. You know, this is like, wow, this shows how oppressive that society was.
Oh,
This is a masterpiece because like formally it is really well done. Like it's well acted, it's well shot. The animation's really good.
The animation's the best part.
Yeah, the animation is incredible. Like I'm not a big fan of the album or like the music, so that would be. But that's like, I think that's like an aside from the film really, and the film I think does what it wants to do, and it does it well in my opinion.
I think it. Yeah, I like the wall, but I also think like, I think with music in particular, music is such a personal thing that like, you know, I'm not gonna argue with someone about whether they like what music they like, or like argue unless we're talking about like, if we're talking about like, I don't know, an album like an artist that we both like if we were both talking about the Beach Boys or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I could have like we could argue about that, whatever. But I'm not gonna tell you that you're wrong for your taste in music or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like whatever about the music, like the music is kind of the main focus. But like if you don't like the music, it's not that big of a detractor, I think, because there's so much more going on in the film.
Yeah, hence why they made a film. You know?
Yeah, hence literally it's like,
you know?
You didn't like the album? Well, here's a fucking film. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently people were like mystified at this. Like mystified. They didn't know like did you read that?
They're like, what the fuck does this mean?
Man, what was he trying to say? No, it was like some anecdote of, like at the premiere, it was like fucking Scorsese or something sitting next to Spielberg, and I think it was Alan Parker like overheard Spielberg just turn to him and go like, what the fuck was that about? At the end of it, because it is kind of confusing, you know, because it's going in all directions, you know.
Well, yeah, because the film, like,
because the
film kind of falls apart at the end with like just like its imagery and stuff like that. Like at the end,
it is more of a biopic.
Yeah. It's way like, if you didn't know who Pink Floyd, or like not even Pink Floyd, you didn't know who Roger Waters was. Like, what the fuck is this? No, because I it's so funny. Spielberg like, what the fuck is this about? Scorsese's like, I don't know, bro.
I don't get it.
But like, I do think that towards the end of the film, like the imagery just goes fucking insane with the wall like collapsing in on him and the fucking asshole, but like taking shit on him.
Yeah, he's like threatening, I'm gonna take a shot on you. He's just like he's like trapped in like a circular wall. It's just Bob Geldof in the fetal position. It's like so. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, is he a gigantic ass? He literally is. And
He's
he
an
has like
asshole.
he has balls on his chin and all. Like,
Again, it's all very literal.
yeah, it's so literal. But like,
society taking a shit on him, bro. We really do be living in a society.
Yeah, he's just down to society in the credits. Giant asshole. Society.
So he's the fucking, or like just like a giant asshole, just Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
so
like,
funny.
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, it's so literal, but at the same time, it's so like surreal. It's, it's like a surrealist painting. Because you're like, that's what it means. But everything's like messed around and stuff.
It's a surrealist asshole.
Yeah. You don't know, like, it's all back to front and all.
Yeah.
He's taking a shot on Bob Geldof, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No. There's a surrealist asshole.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like the start of the.
There's a surrealist asshole.
He's not surreal. He's pretentious.
Yeah.
But like even the start of the film, like where like little Roger Waters is like in the fucking park, and just some random man like throws him onto some fucking merry-go-round thing or whatever, and then the little Roger Waters like holds his hand and he's like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And he's just like, "Oh, little Roger Waters, he just wants his dad." Yeah, because again, the whole thing does deal with like fascism and like we've talked about this so much, but like British nationalism and stuff like that.
Yeah, the British nation. What does it mean? I don't know, because there's a lot about the war.
It just means you're a giant asshole.
Yeah, it's basically, I think that's the message of the film, I think Bob Geldof fell for it, He converted. He literally converted.
Yeah.
What a scumbag. But there's a lot about the war in this,
Yeah.
Which is maybe like a psychoanalytic reading. It's like fascism versus liberal democracy, and then you have like this fucking war, and there's like a synthesis afterwards, and they're like this traumatized generation is just like carrying this kind of legacy around with it. This kind of obsession, like this personality cult, and like maybe Pink Floyd is part of it or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Some about British culture.
Yeah, a lot of rats.
A lot of bollocks. Pretty decent though.
Yeah,
overall.
I have to say I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad they made it,
Yeah.
Roger Waters, he's a king. He's like up his hole.
Yeah.
But he is such a king.
Yeah, bit of a king. What do you think about like other Pink Floyd albums? Like, I think the only other Pink Floyd album I've ever heard is Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I've ever listened to that thing in full though.
Yeah, that's the thing, because the songs are so long.
The songs are long and there's like kind of they're just something to have on in the background rather than actually listen to. But then people are like, "No, man, you gotta listen to it."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know them. I don't know like their deep cuts and all. I like Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I like that. I Wish You Were Here.
What's that one of the two fellas shaking hands at the front of the cover?
I don't know.
Because I think they had a quadrilogy.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Because there's The Wall, there's Dark Side of the Moon, and there's the one that I'm talking about, and there's also another one, but I'm not sure. Is it I Wish You Were Here? Is that, sorry, you mentioned that one. Is that what it's called?
Wish You Were Here. Yeah, that's the one.
And one dude's on fire or something?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one as well. There's a fourth one. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's a trilogy, but I'm pretty sure there's 4. I can't remember what it's called, though. They're like all like post-rock, rock opera kind of shit.
Yeah.
Prog rock, that's what the word.
Prog rock, yeah. I don't know now. They have a lot of albums. Oh my gumma. I remember Animals and stuff like that. I thought Animals was funny.
Oh, The Division Bell. That's what I'm thinking of. No, that's not it.
The Division Bell.
That's not it at all. That's just... Oh, yeah, maybe it is Animals.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I never really listened. Yeah, no, it is. It's Animals, because it's like the 1970s album, because it starts off with Dark Side of the Moon, and then it's Wish You Were Here, Animals, and then it ends off with The Wall. So it's like their 4 biggest albums, and they're all from the 70s.
Yeah, what a trip, you know.
Yeah, what a trip.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. Fair play to them.
A trip so big that they lost a member from having a trip.
Yeah, and then they all hate each other. You know, that's just
like
the
most
story.
bands, though.
Story of the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Poor old Sid Barrett.
So we're talking about like acid casualties. Is Brian Wilson an acid casualty?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson, Sid Barrett. Those are the 2 main ones, you know,
Mhm.
because they just went crazy. They're completely different people afterwards, which is a shame.
Who else is there though? Is there anyone else?
I don't know. There's definitely more. I just can't think of them.
Because I would try to think of like oh my god, what the fuck is it? Jimi Hendrix, but he's not acid.
Yeah, that's heroin.
Yeah. Poor
Oh
Jimi
no,
Hendrix.
yeah, they're the main ones. The others are just like loads of random people.
Yeah, they're the 2 main ones.
Yeah, because they're like, it's like directly linked to just doing way too much acid.
And also in 2 of the biggest bands as well of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah, and they were like the main creative force, you know.
Yeah.
Which is pretty insane.
Yeah, if you're
Like-
creative, just don't do acid. That's the
Yeah,
moral of the
yeah.
story.
If you're in a band, just don't do it.
Right, we go for listener questions.
Go for a few listener questions. Let's see what's up.
If you want to ask us a question, give us feedback. Tell us that the fascist government eventually will have our heads on a silver platter. You can let us know at Twitter or on Instagram at @paro_pod, or you can send us an email, theparopod@gmail.com. Our first question is coming in from Neve. Jesus, Neve asking this question. And she's asking us, who are our favourite actors?
Favorite actors? I'd have to go with Paul Dano.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's great in everything.
We're talking about Brian Wilson just there.
Yeah, Love and Mercy. You're thinking There Will Be Blood. You're thinking Prisoners.
Little Miss Sunshine.
You're thinking Little Miss Sunshine. You're thinking Sopranos.
Yeah, he's also great in
You're thinking
Sopranos.
Sopranos.
I also thinking Steve Buscemi as well.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi.
James
Yeah.
Gandolfini.
Yeah. James Gandolfini just
Yeah.
says Sopranos actors.
Yeah, he's fucking.
all day long.
Oh my God. Falco.
Chris Maltasanti.
Falco. What the
Eddie Falco.
Eddie Falco. She's amazing,
She's
man.
very, very good.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's actually very, very good.
Like any, at the end of season 4, herself and James Gandolfini like have an argument, and it's probably the best acting I've ever seen in my life. Like just some of that exchange between the 2 of them. Chef kiss, amazing, so well done.
Yeah, don't know how they did it.
Yeah, the 2 of them just like there's not even I wouldn't even say she's like, because like when we talk about Sopranos, a lot of the time we do talk about how great James Gandolfini is in it, but Eddie Falco is like on par with him. She just doesn't have as much screen time as James Gandolfini, but she's also like easily on par with him.
Yeah, she holds her ground.
In fact, he's on par with her. Let's rearrange that sentence.
Oh shit.
He's on par with her.
Oh shit. Well, he's dead, so he gets another 10 points.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. But she's
yeah.
amazing.
She is.
I remember hearing my mom told me this thing where like there was a scene, I can't remember what scene it was, but they needed her to like walk away and just start crying because it was kind of like a long take or whatever. And they were like, okay, we'll get ready to do this a couple of times, and she did it on the first take, perfectly on the first take.
Yeah.
Like that's how good she was, or
Yeah.
is. She's still around.
She's still going. She's Nurse Jackie and all.
Yeah,
Don't know how good that is now, but
I don't know. I don't know how long Nurse Jackie was around for. I don't think it was that popular.
I just remember being on Sky One.
Yeah, same. I just remember seeing her like when I was watching Dexter. It was like, oh, you like Dexter? You like Nurse Jackie? Watch it on Netflix. God, Dexter is shit.
Dexter. You know who's great? John Lithgow.
I was about to say that.
John
John
Lithgow.
Lithgow's the best thing in
Rise
Dexter.
of the Planet of the Apes.
Mm.
You know, he's in other
Great.
stuff as well.
Andy Serkis, man.
Andy Serkis, great shout.
Adam Sandler. I was gonna say Andy Samberg.
Adam
Also-
Sambo.
And Adam Sambo. Andy Samberg is good, but like Adam Sandler is better. When he wants to be, like when he's doing like an actual, acting performance, it's great.
Yeah, when he puts his mind to it, he knows. when
Punch
he's
Drunk
act.
Love.
You know,
and, Uncle James.
That's what it.
Jim Carrey also good and stuff like that as well.
Jim
Eternal
Carrey,
Sunshine, Truman Show. I think there's another one. Can't remember the other one.
He's in some detective one now.
Is he?
He was. He had a
He's
beard.
also in
Sonic the Hedgehog.
not Sonic. Yeah, well, he's also in Sonic the Hedgehog, but he's in something before that. Oh my god, he was in some show about being a puppeteer. Can't remember the name of it. Maybe it's called Happy. I could be wrong there.
I don't know.
I can't remember the name of the show.
He is great though.
He's great.
He's a king.
He was. You know, he's kind of crazy. He's also a method actor that like abuses his method acting. So
Yeah, method actors, man, just stay away from them.
yeah,
Just act.
just
They're
act.
already acting.
Brando, you know, have to talk about great actors.
Marlon.
Even Marilyn Monroe, she was great as well.
Yeah, I've never seen her in a film.
I've only ever seen her in Some Like a Hot, and she's very good in that.
Yeah, it's a classic, isn't it? You know what's great? Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, underrated.
He understands the assignment.
Yeah, he understands the assignment.
You know? Children of Men, The International, Born Identity.
Yeah, he's great in Born Identity. Matt Damon's pretty good as well.
He is good. Sometimes he's shy though.
Yeah, sometimes he's shy.
Sometimes he's phoning it in. You know, he's on the Nokia. He's just pure phoning it. He's
Leonardo.
Leo DiCaprio. He is good. He's
Let's
great.
just list off like Leo, Joaquin Phoenix, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal. You know, all the heads that people always say. Yeah, they're all great. Whatever.
All the headings.
All the headings. Yeah, they're great. Whatever.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. He is great. McConaughey. You have to love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to love his victory arc. Mud is like he plays himself in most films, just kind of detracting from his chops. But he's still great in them, you know.
Yeah,
So that's
I
all you
agree.
want. Tom Cruise is underrated.
Tom Cruise,
I'm gonna put that out there.
as an
I'm gonna
actor,
put that
he
out
is.
there.
He is underrated.
He's
as an actor.
underrated. He's a great actor. He's versatile. He does everything. You know, he produces, he
He
directs.
does his own stunts.
Does his own stunts. Does what he wants. He's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pretty writes as well. Makes up his own lines. You know,
Crazy.
he's just completely insane. You have to be crazy to have his workload. You know, to be that committed to it.
Yeah, to be Tom Cruise, what an insane level of fame.
You have to be insane. You know, it's like being locked in. Like instead, like one day you have a stroke and you wake up and you're Tom Cruise and you're like, oh my god.
That's also what rather prefer that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's either I give up now or like, you know, I just embrace it.
Yeah,
You know, which is what that guy did, I suppose.
true. Also, we were talking about this like just before. What the Eyes Wide Shut. Nicole Kidman,
Nicole Kidman, yeah.
also great. Naomi Watts.
Colin Farrell. Yeah, Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts.
Very, very good. King Kong.
What a queen! I fucking love
What
Naomi
a
Watts.
performance.
She's great in like David Lynch shit, and she's also great in Funny Games. Oh, she's amazing.
She is amazing.
Colin Farrell, as you just said.
Colin Farrell's a king.
You know, I saw
He's an Irish king.
Colin Farrell. Oh my God, the other Irish fella, fucking.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Liam Neeson.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis, yeah, he's great as well. No,
He's alright.
Peaky Blinders.
Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy's great.
Yeah. He's good.
I saw this TikTok though that was like talking about it was like some trend. I was like, what's an actor that's like actually like a really nice person in real life, whatever. And this guy was like talking about like, oh, this guy, I met him before like in LA, and he's super super nice to me, just talking to me like a normal person. And he would also go into like some random Starbucks and leave like a $20 tip every time that he was there. It's Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell is apparently
Colin
a really
Farrell.
sound dude in real life,
Fair
which
play.
I'd love to see.
Yeah, one of the dubs.
Yeah, one of
making it out.
One of the boys.
Made it big
Is he
out
from
west.
Castleknock or something? Where's he from?
I'm not sure where he's from.
I think he's from Castleknock.
I saw him one day in the Phoenix Park.
I was like, how are you?
All right. I love your work in phone booth.
He's great in phone booth.
Yeah.
He really is
Not
great.
working with a lot.
Yeah. But excels in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good. He's great in The Lobster.
Yeah.
Very particular role. He's good
True
in that.
Detective, working with nothing. Working with absolutely nothing.
Vince Vaughn as well is a very good actor.
Yeah. Well, yeah, from True Detective,
Yeah.
yeah. What else is he in, though?
Apparently he's great in that film Freaky.
Freaky.
He plays a teenage girl amazingly.
Mm.
Because it's like a body swap thing where he plays a serial
Ah.
killer, and then
They swap.
he swaps with a little girl, but it's Vince Vaughn playing a
Little girl.
16-year-old girl in his body.
Yeah.
Apparently he's amazing in it.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember he was good in Psycho, the remake of Psycho.
I think he's just genuinely a good actor. He's just kind of underrated, underutilized. Apparently he's great in Brawl and Cell Block 99 or whatever the fuck that film's called.
Yeah.
It's by the director of Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
He's good in that apparently.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell also very good. You know, you look at John Carpenter films.
You look at everything. You look at the whole thing.
You look at the whole shebang.
Yeah.
Our fucking Stephen Yeun, our king.
Stephen Yeun. The guy from Walking Dead.
The guy from Glenn.
He's on for a lot more now.
As of now, we need to stop the Glenn from Walking Dead. He is now.
That's been gone for a while.
He's now
bringing it back.
He's now the dude from Sorry to Bother You. Whatever the fuck his name is, Ben. I think his name was in that.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy from Sorry to Bother You.
That guy from Minari.
Yeah.
He's great. Keith Stanfield.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, all the boys.
Daniel Kaluuya. King.
What a guy.
Amazing actor. Really amazing actor. Also another dude that seems really sound.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins. Also a man that robbed Chadwick Boseman of his Oscar, but
Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know,
he's grand, you know, does his job.
Yeah, he does his thing.
He understands the assignment.
Daniel Day-Lewis though. Yeah, we kind of touched on him. I think Daniel Day-Lewis is fantastic. Joaquin Phoenix as well.
Ah, yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rip.
King.
Heath Ledger,
another king.
River Phoenix,
also king.
all dead.
All dead. A lot of great dead actors. Whoops. Any living ones? I'm trying to think of like.
Any living ones.
Scarlett Johansson.
She's
She's great in things. Under the Skin. I think she's fantastic in that.
yeah.
Any of the Avengers heads?
No.
I'm trying to think.
Mark Ruffalo's good.
Mark Ruffalo, yeah, he's good. Oh yeah,
he can be good and stuff.
Robert Downey Jr. as well, in like Zodiac.
Yeah. They're like playing it like they're just phoning it in most of the time.
Yeah, but they're just in the Avengers, which isn't taxing for acting.
Yeah. They're not method acting.
Although I haven't said that, fucking Chris Hemsworth is great as Thor in Thor Ragnarok. I think he's really funny in that film. He plays a great comedic role in that. What about comedy actors like fucking those two fucking Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. Great comedic actors.
Yeah,
great comedic actors.
Uh-huh.
Your man that's in Airplane and Naked Gun as well.
Yeah, Leslie Nielsen.
He's great.
He's class.
He's very, very good.
Rip.
Very, very good. Another dead one.
Another dead one.
It's too many.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
Florence
Pugh.
I love Florence Pugh and everything. Oh, my God. I've only seen her in a few bits, but I've loved her in everything I've seen her in.
She's very, very good.
It's great.
You should watch The Falling.
I should watch The Falling.
It's good.
Saoirse Ronan as well. Another Irish.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in anything since fucking Atonement or something. Or Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any.
I've seen her that and Lady Bird. And Lovely Bones. Is that her?
That's her. Yeah. Well, she's a little lass.
Gary Oldman.
Ah, yeah. Gary Oldman. Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm. All the apes ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
But he just plays a crazy person.
Yeah.
Like a deranged, murderous psychopath. Song Kang Ho. We talked about him last week.
Yeah, exactly. We named the last episode after him.
Like, I think...
That's a very rare honour.
Yeah.
Very rare honour.
He's the only actor we've ever named the fucking Parapod episode after.
Yeah.
Like, whatever about Oscars, forget that.
Yeah.
I have a podcast by the Parapod named after me.
Stick that on the CV.
You can get any role with that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely, like, actors in, like, French... There's definitely French actors and stuff that, like that one French dude. He's in we talked about him before. He's in
Vincent Cassel.
Yes, Vincent Cassel is great.
Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah,
but like, there's definitely like
his head is so weird.
It's so distinct.
Yeah,
distinct
he's like
head.
an alien.
Yeah, he just looks like someone that would kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, you wouldn't cross that guy.
No, fuck that. Actually, sorry, Tom Hardy as well. Tom Hardy's great.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure there's like actors in like fucking. And like other Japanese cinema and like fucking South Korean cinema and fucking wherever Like, I'm sure there's great Bollywood actors. I said that one Bollywood actor that died like last year or the year before. He's in like all the Bollywood films. I've seen him in something before, and I was like, yes, he is amazing. He's great. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's great. I'm sure there's actors in like there's definitely
Far off places.
far off places that I haven't seen any of the cinema of, and they're probably great. You know,
Yeah. Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon's
He's not far off,
underrated as fuck.
Just came to my head.
Definitely, Michael Shannon's underrated. The kid actors, Sixth Sense, like he was great in that.
Yeah, for like one film.
Fuck me, what's his name?
Haley Joel Osment.
He's great. He's great in AI as well.
Yeah, AI.
Plays a android very well.
Yeah.
Plays a little robot boy.
Didn't blink.
Didn't blink at all.
Never blinked.
Do you know who's fucking weird? Jude Law.
Yeah. That's a bit weird.
Who are some actors that you like hate?
That I hate.
Yeah, is there any actors that you just don't like?
Meryl Streep.
Fair.
I don't like Meryl Streep. I don't think she's good. She's a good actor.
Fair.
Like
That is so fair.
Like that's like, it's not that like she's good now.
It's like low key blasphemy, but not really.
She's good, but like she's not like people. Wow, she's like a goddess or whatever. She's like good.
George Clooney as well. He's
standouts.
alright.
George Clooney. That's the thing. George Clooney doesn't really pretend to be like this amazing actor. Meryl Streep does.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah, another one. I don't like Tom Hanks. He's not that good.
Yeah.
He plays the same character in every film.
Yeah.
You know, he's good in Forrest Gump. And like Meryl Streep's great in Deer Hunter, but that's it. And they play the same character in every other film.
Yeah.
It's blasphemy, but it's true.
It is kind of true.
Look it up.
It's just like, whatever.
They're not good. They're just not good.
Even with the likes of like God, who's like another really huge actor that like people are like, even like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, yeah, he's good, but like,
yeah,
is he as amazing?
Is he that good?
Is he as amazing as everyone says? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, like you can only be so good. I think.
Like, who's an actor that if they're in something you'll watch it?
I don't know.
Paul Dano, I think for me is one of them.
Paul Dano, yeah, he would.
Florence Pugh as well.
Doesn't really miss.
She doesn't miss.
Yeah, I would have said back in the day. I would have said like McConaughey or something, but he's had a few
He's had a few duds,
a few bunts recently. So, but yeah, probably Dano. Paul, that's the thing. Go back to the original. Go back to the first one. Paul Dano. He's pretty much everything he's in is solid at least.
Yeah, it's decent at least. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is also like that. Jake Gyllenhaal picks good movies.
Or Rob Pattinson.
Rob Pattinson, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Or Pat, man. Even in like fucking like Twilight.
The original hunk of this podcast.
Yeah.
The original focus.
Yeah.
This was originally founded about
Twilight. Those
this
are
is
first
originally
series.
a Twilight.
Yeah.
New fans won't know this, but this used to be a Twilight.
Go
podcast.
back to the first like 6 episodes. We just talked about Twilight. Genuinely, that's like the main focus of the podcast. Every week we went through the entire series.
Yeah.
Great films. Great fucking films.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah, even in those films though, like he's still like he's aware of like, you know, how shitty they are. But like Kristen Stewart is in those films and like have you heard that people say like Kristen Stewart, like she really showed her acting skills?
Man, she's not a good actress.
She's not.
She's not. Even in the ones where she's supposed to be good, she can't act.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I feel maybe that's sacrilege in some spaces.
Fucking God, I can't fucking believe we forgot about Toni Collette.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah,
I love Toni Collette.
She's very good.
So much.
She's crazy though.
Yeah, she's crazy. I
got
fucking love her though.
Yeah.
She's so good.
You'd be afraid of her at the parent-teacher meeting or something, you know.
Oh God, she'd beat
If
the shit out of
If she
you.
were your teacher, you'd be like, you know, she'd have you on edge.
Yeah, man.
You wouldn't come in without your homework.
Oh
every
man,
day.
she's an Irish teacher, true and true.
Yeah.
Even like fucking Steve Carell as well. Even when like he's another comedy actor that's funny or whatever, but like when he wants to play a serious role, he's very good. Toni Collette. Who's the other one? Frances McDormand as well.
Yeah.
In her bits.
Yeah.
When
a few
she's
bitines here and there.
Pretty good Nomadland, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, we leave it at that.
Yeah, what's your recommended film for next week?
My recommended film for episode 47 will be based on my watching of Good Morning. We will be watching Tokyo Story by Ozu. I cannot remember his first name. Like, yeah, some fucking name, whatever.
Yokishiro.
Yokishiro Ozu. Is that his name?
I think it was something like that.
Close enough. Anyway, we'll go for Tokyo Story. No idea what this film is about. However, I've heard one of the greatest films of all time.
Yasujiro.
Yasujiro Ozu. What an amazing name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was on the top of some list one time of like films directed or films voted by directors like Scorsese, Tarantino, Nolan, or maybe not Nolan, but fuck Nolan, David Lynch and stuff. Yeah, it's a cool one. David Lynch. I was like, what's the best film of all time? And apparently that was number one. So yeah, we're gonna be watching that.
Can't wait.
Gonna be a buzz. It's on Mubi, so if you have Mubi, switch over to like Italian or French Mubi, and you can watch it there. Also probably on some sites, but yeah.
All right. Signing off.
See you, everyone.
Bye bye.